Hi everyone, this is Jason from Metal Flesh. Today I am going to try and rank the entire Slayer discography from Getting the Bane tier all the way up to From Here to Eternity. From its release, I'm going to try and pick two highlight songs. I'm gonna try and stay clear from the obvious hits. I might just end up picking like an odd song or two, depending on the release. Right, we're gonna kick things off with Show No Mercy, 1983. For me, this is Kill 'Em All with testosterone to the max. Basically, this is a raw and sinister debut, which does mix the new wave of British heavy metal influence with the emerging thrash aggression. The riffs are sharp but not yet razor precise. The songwriting feels hungry rather than refined. We've got good musical structures, really good album, primitive, less controlled than later releases, but it just steps on the foundations of the thrash really well. For me, highlights will be Black Magic and Die by the Sword. For me, this is a solid A release. Next album is Hell Awaits. This is darker, slower, and far more atmospheric. The band here expands the song structures, leans more into the occult tension. Production is murky but emphasizes the sinister tones. Although this is a superior album than Show No Mercy artistically and songwriting wise, for me it doesn't hit me in the same sort of way than Show No Mercy. I'm not saying that this is not a good album, it's really good. Highlights will be Hell Awaits and Crypts of Eternity. For me it just drops to a B tier. 1986, we see the landmark of all thrash albums called Raining Blood. It's brutally fast, tightly structured, and it's roughly effective. We've got Rick Rubin in production, which has brought big impact into the whole Slayer camp. This thrash masterpiece is less than 30 minutes from start to finish. It wastes no times, it just delivers non-stop. It's sharper and more concise than Hell Awaits, and it's the definition, I believe, of thrash metal. Highlights will be Altar of Sacrifice and Angel of Death. For me, this is a solid From Here to Eternity. This one brings us to 1988 with the release of South of Heaven. The band here deliberately slowed things down because they knew they could not release Raining Blood Part 2. As stated, we've got a slower down songs, we've got more emphasis in the atmosphere and tension over speed. The riffs are heavier, and we've got a Tom Araya that actually sings better than before. It's less frantic than Raining Blood, darker and moodier release. Highlights for me will be Spill the Blood and Behind the Crooked Cross. For me, this is a solid A release. 1990, we see the release of Seasons in the Abyss. This one is a perfect balance between speed and atmosphere. It combines the aggression of Raining Blood and the darker pacing of South of Heaven. The songwriting feels confident and mature. As stated, is more balanced and complete than the two predecessors. The highlights for me will be Born of Fire and Temptation. For me, this goes to From Here to Eternity. 1994, we see the release of Divine Intervention. The band here went to a more raw and aggressive sound. The production is harsher, the riffs are also sharp but less memorable than the classic era. It feels intense but slightly unfocused. This one, when I combine it to Seasons to the Abyss, it might be more aggressive, but as stated, the songs are less focused. Highlights here will be Tito Head and Killing Fields. For me, this drops to a... Oh, I'm indecisive. I'm just gonna put it on a B tier for now. After this, we see the release of Diabolus in Musica. This is, it feels like an experimental album for Slayer. It incorporates some groove and down-tune guitars. This one is quite influenced by the late 90s trend. It's heavy, it's dark, slower, quite dynamic. It did divide quite a lot of fans when it first came out, and I believe fans are still divided over this album still. This one is more groove orientated with less thrust driven songs than the early material. Highlights for me will be Stain of Mind and Bitter Peace. I don't really visit this very often. I might get shot for doing this, but for me this is a D tier release. God Hates Us All came out in 2001. I remember when this album came out, it was just panic everywhere. It was like, oh my god, Slayer, a new record, everybody was talking about this. This one is a furious and modern sounding release. It's aggressive, bland and confrontational. The production is heavy and pantsy, and the songwriting sometimes just feels repetitive. It's more focused than Diabolus in Musica, but it kind of incorporated. You can still hear some of the Diabolus elements in this record. As a result, this album is slightly uneven. There's quite a few filler songs. Yeah, it's for me it's like an average release, to be honest. Highlights will be New Faith and Bloodline. This one for me comes up to I'm just going to put it on a D tier for now. Christ Illusion came out in 2006. This is a reunion album as we see the return of Dave Lombardo. The album captures much of the old thrash energy while maintaining modern and heavy. It feels revitalized. It's sharper and it contains some of the classic spirits of the band's early material, and it incorporates some of the early 2000s Slayer releases as well. Highlights for me will be Cult and Fleshstorm. For me, this comes up to a solid B release. World Painted Blood came out in 2009. This one's fast, aggressive and direct. The songwriting is consistent throughout, but it's not groundbreaking. It feels like Slayer is fully comfortable with their identity. It's less urgent than Christ Illusion, but equally solid. Production is not as clear as Christ Illusion. It needs quite a lot of listens just to get into it. To be honest, for quite some time it was just gathering dust, and then I just sort of like re-found this album and started listening to it more. Highlights for me will be Psychopathy Red and Beauty Through Order. Again, I might get a shot for this. I'm just going to put it on a C tier. This one brings us up to Repentless. This is a 2015 release. I hate to say this, but this is the final studio album of the band. I do hope they release another record because this one's absolutely amazing. It's brutal, it's relentless throughout. You can actually hear the absence of Jeff Hanneman here, but the songs are aggressive, the riffs are in your face. It's just, I don't know, somehow Slayer managed to capture the magic of the early classic era and just reprised it. Comparing this to the previous two releases, it's more consistent, it's more solid, and I don't know, like the whole album is absolutely fantastic from start to finish. I don't skip any songs whatsoever. Highlights for me will be When the Stillness Comes and Repentless. For me, this comes to a solid A release. So there you have it, the entire Slayer discography ranked from Get in the Bin all the way up to From Here to Eternity. Till next time, stay heavy.